Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a Lego set and to hang out with all of you. And first things first, before we get into it, I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego of the site, the tier 2 blue emote in chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. If you feel like being a lurker, you can go ahead and lurk. It's a Saturday. I'm working on a cool Lego set, the Lego DREAMZzz Zoey's cat motorcycle. So working on that, excited to continue working on that. We've got Zoey. We've got some of her motorcycle. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. Happy to have you here on this fine Saturday evening. The last Saturday of 2024. This is not the last stream of 2024. Monday will be the last build stream of 2024. And of course, Tuesday will be my last stream of the year. Into the new year, I will be doing my quarterly stream, Pat Bear's Anime Club Live, the fall recap and the winter preview. And then when that's done, we will hang out and do some, I will do some tier maker rankings leading into 2025, which will be fun. I assume it'll be fun. Maybe it won't be. Maybe it won't be fun, but I think it will be. I think you'll have a good time with it, and it'll be a good time there. And that's next Tuesday. Right now, we're just kind of chilling. I'm going to work on a cool Lego set. We might have a small but mighty crew tonight. I don't know. It might be a relaxed Saturday evening. I did not take the evening off to watch AEW's World's End 2024. Chose not to watch that because I watched Full Gear, because I don't want to take off every Saturday that there's a wrestling pay-per-view, because most wrestling pay-per-views are on Saturday now, which sucks for me, the guy that likes to stream on Saturdays. So I have to think about it. I have to figure it out. I could switch to Fridays, especially with the things in my life I could do, but I don't want to do Thursday and Friday back-to-back streaming nights. I like having days in between my streams because my voice chance to recover, because I don't, so I just don't want to do that. The next Saturday I definitely will be taking off is February 1st, because that is the night of the Royal Rumble. I love the Royal Rumble. It's my favorite wrestling pay-per-view of the year, or premium live event, since it's a WWE event. But that's my favorite of the year. So I want to take that night off. Also, because on February 1st, I am doing a subathon, my twice annual subathon. I do one at the beginning of the year, and I do one on my birthday or around my birthday. And so this year, January 31st will be the subathon. Friday, January 31st, starting at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, running until 7:30 or 8 p.m. Eastern, depending on how it goes. The goal, as many subs as possible. Save the date. There will be a bunch of things and things. I will say this now. One of my incentives, I hear a certain number and then I do something, will be singing some karaoke songs that I've never performed before on stream. Just so you know, that's one thing that's going to happen. Anyway, before we get into building, I should just say that it is bonus round time. Until January 2nd, 25% off new 1-month subs, 25% off 3-month subs, new. 30% off 6-month subs, and for every 5 gifted subs purchased on the channel, Valorant will add at least 1 bonus gift sub. Right now, my sub leaderboard is Aristofan 10, Mr. Kung Fu Grip 2, Valorant 2. Valorant has gifted 2 subs to my channel. And then there's also an anonymous person that gifted a couple. Hey, Lord Crashington, welcome. Somebody anonymously gifted some subs so they don't end up on the leaderboard. But yeah, the leaderboard right now also includes Valorant, which is fun. That's just a fun thing to see that. All right, let's get into some building. Let's go to the overhead camera. Boom, overhead camera, here we go. We've got the start of the cat motorcycle. You can see that right there. We've got Zoey. Zoey's here to hang out. We are in bag 2 of 3. I have knolled bags 2 and 3 so that we can focus on the building portion of this and get that going. Oh, so I want to put this here. I tried to skip a step, and that is bonkers, Pat. What are you doing? I hope everybody had a good weekend. Obviously, for many of us, myself included, Sunday is not just a day of rest. It is also a day of not doing much. Some people are active on Sundays. My plans for tomorrow are to cook myself dinner because my folks are out of the house. So I will be doing, meal prep or for just myself. I have a Fiasco session with some of my friends. I'm running a game of Fiasco with some people, so that'll be fun. That is in the afternoon. I will be doing that. Looking forward to that because I really like running Fiasco. It is a fun, very, rules heavy, but like accoutrement light TTRPG. A lot of creativity involved in that, so I do enjoy doing that. This is a little hard to see how this goes. Okay, so this is one of the legs, so I do need to add that like this then. This will be easy to fix if I was supposed to do it like that, but I believe that is how they want that to go. We'll figure this out. All right, now I got to build this thing. I'll require some parts here, so I need the gray. But as far as what I did today, a lot of my year-end stuff is just prep work. As many of you are aware, I do spend a lot of time doing contract work, and a lot of that contract work is data entry stuff and also building and updating decks or PowerPoint presentations and the like for a company that takes the gigs from other companies and does their work and that kind of thing. Contract work for that. And there are not a lot of gigs this time of year. They try to find stuff for people that have been around for a long time like myself, but what ends up happening is that like people run out of budget, right, for these things. And also for the first 2 weeks of January, not a lot of companies have meetings or, there aren't really conventions, that kind of stuff. It all kind of just isn't something that people worry about. But a couple weeks into January, suddenly February stuff will appear and everyone will have a new budget and suddenly realize, oh shit, we got to get some work done. We got to get those contractors in. We got to hire that company to get these things updated or whatever. So I will get busy in January, and my January and my February will be very busy. But right now, it's not. It just isn't. This time of year, it just isn't for me that busy. So I do a lot of prep work. As you know, I do a weekly series that I do every Wednesday. I just recorded the first 2 for January. And so those are done. And my goal is to be done with all of January. Next week, I'm going to record the other 2 that I have for January. And then I want to do all of February and at least the first week, if not the first 2 weeks of March as well, by the end of January. For those that don't know, my folks go to Florida usually for 6 weeks. This year it's just a month, but they'll be gone, and I move out of this room and I move into, or I move my stuff, my gear, out of this room into the bonus room on the house, and I record all of, with the exception of last year I didn't. Maybe last year I did. Did I do them? Actually, hey, guess what? I don't remember. But generally, I record all of Pat Baer's Anime Club, or not Pat Baer's Anime Club, Kuma Baer. I do it in this room. So I kind of just want to keep that up. I may have recorded some of them there, just because I like the backdrop being the same for all of them. Let me just really quick look. This is silly. I could just do this out of the stream, but I'm going to look up Kuma Baer here. I'm going to see that. I have muted so you don't hear my audio. And then I'm going to go towards the beginning of this. Did I do in February? Did I do all of the February ahead of time? It looks like I did. All right. Yeah, that was smart. No, I didn't. I'm sorry. I didn't do that. I did record these. from the Carolina room last year. I did February in there. And that means that they're not similar. And I like them to be all similar with the same backdrop. So the plan is that the only videos that I'm going to record from the Carolina room will be my streams, which you won't notice. That you should not notice the difference, because I will be using the background remover. And the only videos that will be there where there will be a background are Pat Baer's Anime Club that are recorded around there, because I probably don't want to do my February Pat Baer's Anime Clubs in January. I kind of, especially because the ones that will go up in February are often my recommendations of the season recommendations, and me talking about all the isekai that are out. I could do wherever, but whenever. But the anime recommendations, where I recommend shows from that season, I kind of want to make sure that I'm doing that I've watched a bunch of episodes of a bunch of things, so that I can give you proper recommendations. So I don't really want to do that in January. So the plan is that the Pat Baer's Anime Clubs I will record in that room, but everything else, all the Kuma Bears, I'm going to do early. And then I want to do the March one, at least two of the March ones early as well, so that way I'm just like, I have a buffer. I always like to have a buffer. A Michael buffer. But what I like to do is make sure that I have them done ahead of time, so I never have to like worry about it. Put this on wrong. This goes like this. Okay. I just want to make sure that I'm always ahead. And again, I don't mind being close on the date for Pat Baer's Anime Club, but for Kuma Baer, the only Kuma Baer video, or the only episodes of Kuma Baer where I can't really do them too far in advance, are the ones that are like my favorite shows from the previous season, right? Like, I did 2 of the 5 I have to do for January, which are about the fall season, ahead of time, because they were 2 shows I knew I really liked. Also, the fall season is the only anime season that kind of ends and gives a buffer because of Christmas and various other holidays. There is a time buffer between those. Okay, so I need blue. I need this blue. I couldn't find it for a second, but I found it. There is a little bit of a buffer there. There's one new show that's starting this weekend, but all the other new anime aren't starting for quite a bit. So it ends up being a little bit of a buffer there, which is fine. Like, I have one show to talk about tonight, because I can't tell you if Dragon Ball Daima is an ongoing or not. I don't know. We had episode, episode 12 today, but I don't know if it's like taking a break or not. Let me see if any chart updated. Okay, no, episode 13 is happening next week. So, oh no, I'm sorry. There is a break. Episode 13, there is not airing for like 14 days or 12 days. So there is a bit of a break before Dragon Ball Daima episode 13 starts. So there you go. Update on that. I did not have that information before right now looking it up. So that's good to know. It's good to know that. Okay. I did build this correctly. Okay. I believe I did. Yes. But yeah, so there's a bit of a break in between the fall and the winter season, and that is kind of the only time in the anime calendar that it happens. In 2 days from now, and 12 hours, so like kind of like 3 days. Bogus skill, Fruit Master. About that time I became able to eat unlimited numbers of skill fruits that kill you, is coming out. And then Headhunter to Another World is coming out in 3 days. Possibly the Greatest Alchemist of All Time is coming out in 3 days. So I guess you could argue that some shows will have started before I do my wrap up. This break isn't as long as some other breaks, and maybe I should have done the wrap up 2 weeks ago, but I didn't want to, because I wanted to do or a week ago, because I wanted to do my top 10 to end the year that way. Also, the idea of doing Pat Baer's Anime Club as my New Year's Eve stream appealed to me, because it is the stream that most likely goes past 2 hours anyway. All right, so we built these, and now they go like this, and this is the, you know, the wheel is going to go here for motorcycle mode. The claws aren't really there because we're building a cat bike, a cat motorcycle. And then now we're working in, we can do these 2 at a time. So we'll do all of this step at the same time because we're doing 2 of these. I believe these are the back paws, I want to say, or claws or something. I don't know what's going on here, but we're building 2 of these so we can do them all at the same time. Yeah, so that's kind of what my 2024 is wrapping up like. It's a lot of prep work. It's a lot of getting ready for stuff. I have some tier maker lists set up for next Tuesday because after I'm done talking about anime, there will still be time before the new year begins. So I have that set up so that I can talk about, I can entertain the folks that are going to choose to spend their New Year's Eve with me. And of course, there are plenty of folks that when midnight hits for me, it'll still be 9 p.m. for them, or 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. So, you know, it won't be, and for some folks, it will be midnight, which is cool. We're getting in our first decals for this, or decals, depending on where you're from. We do have to apply some decals here. These claws have these decals, which I will apply with the spudger. 2 of our 4 decals go on here. So we'll get that going. Tonight is a wrestling pay-per-view. It is AEW's World's End, and I am not watching it live. I will be watching it probably tomorrow, sporadically throughout the day, and then finish up tomorrow night. But I did watch the pre-show, which is, of course, free, the 0 hour, even though it is an hour and a half. They still call it 0 hour, and that's fine. There were 3 matches on the 0 hour show. So I'll talk about those, and then I'll talk about the main card on Monday because I will have watched the pay-per-view by then. Toni Storm defeated Leela Gray via pinfall. Toni Storm is currently doing a gimmick where she thinks she is a wrestler who is still an indie wrestler. Lasper says, I decided the card wasn't worth my money, so I've just been following along via TDE. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to buy it and watch it later. I just didn't want to miss the stream because oops, did I put this on wrong? Yes, I put this on backwards. Let's see if I can fix this. Yeah, I just didn't want to take the stream off because I did last month, and I thought that was a fine enough choice because that stream, or that show was really fun. I'm going to see if I can use this to peel this off without wrecking this, and I think I'll be able to do that. All right, so I got that off. Luckily, you can get, probably I wouldn't want to have to readjust this again, but I can get this right. Toni Storm's current gimmick is that, so how do I get this? Toni Storm last year lost the world title, and she was already having trouble with her crew, and in character suffered a nervous breakdown and reappeared as Timeless Toni Storm, a debutante, not debutante, a golden age black and white actress, a Hollywood actress, Timeless Toni Storm. And she had to put upon accent because she's Australian. And she was doing a bunch of nonsense and having a really good time with it. Okay, so let's put the paws on here. Let's get our paws on. Get these pairs on. So she had she's having a good time with that silliness, doing this whole character, going really hard with this character. And then she was betrayed by the inevitable. She was betrayed, and she was beaten for her title, and she went away, and she came back as this Toni Storm. And this version of Toni Storm is her old music, her old a variation of the ring gear that she wore even pre-stardom, independent wrestler Toni Storm. And in her mind, anyway, the character believes that she is going from the indies to debut in AEW. So she is like new, still considering herself like a rookie, still new to the profession, still like paying her dues and like excited to meet people. As if she hadn't been there. This version of Toni Storm is hasn't been to Stardom, hasn't been to WWE, hasn't met all these people, was never in AEW, is not a world champion, former 2-time world champion. John says, hope everyone has and will have a happy holidays. Thank you so much, John. Listen to the Bear Cave Lego site tier 2 Blue Emote. Thank John for the 36 months. That's so many months. Appreciate you very much, John. Thank you very much for renewing that sub. Mighty kind of you. So yeah. So the thing is that people are acting with this Toni Storm. People are like, Toni, what is Toni going on? What's wrong with Toni? Is she okay? Why does she believe that she's like an indie wrestler who's just arrived and is just now all elite? Which is very funny because it means that every wrestler in AEW has accepted that timeless Toni Storm is the real Toni Storm and not a psychotic episode that Toni Storm has been exhibiting, the real Toni Storm has been exhibiting. And instead they're like, I'm worried about Toni. She's not acting like the timeless persona. And that is very funny to me because it's very layered. I love this. This is either outcome is great. Either one, this is a psychotic episode. Or two, this is a grand performance of timeless Toni Storm, who is just lulling someone into a false sense of security with this act and is really like totally okay, but also again totally not okay, because if the real quote unquote real Toni Storm is timeless, that means that she has supplanted the actual real Toni Storm. It's layered in a way that wrestling doesn't fucking get, and it invites the crowd to come along on a very weird gimmick. Tonight in the pre-show, the crowd was chanting "Rookie." They have bought into, they are playing along with it. And then the announcers were like, why, come on, folks. Why are we supporting this? And it's very funny because that's also what they said when timeless Toni Storm arrived. They were like, Toni is in a bad place right now. This is messed up. We should be talking to her about this, which was very funny at the time, because now it's like, completely accepted that was obviously that was a character, but people are accepting that is like they want the old Toni back, but by old Toni they mean old-timey Toni. It's layered and great. Anyway, she beat Leela Gray in a good match, and Leela has been studying, has been training at the LA branch of the New Japan Dojo and has come a long way. Jeff Jarrett defeated QT Marshall in a match that I half watched. I'll give him credit. So I'm not a QT Marshall hater. Some people are an absolute hater. They think he's worthless. They don't know why he's there. And look, I'm not trying to be like, oh, you don't fucking get this stuff. But like a part of it is that like, oh yeah, I mean, look, there are wrestlers who need to lose. People need, like, if QT Marshall is not there taking the pin, then someone else is taking the pin, because somebody's going to take the pin, and that someone might be somebody that you really love. So wouldn't you rather it be QT taking the pinfall and looking foolish and also is a safe worker instead of like your favorite taking all the L's? I truly, even though again, I am not a hater, but I truly respect the hustle of a guy who left AEW. He let his contract expire with AEW. He was working backstage. He was also working as a wrestler. Let his contract expire to see what was out there. Found out there was nothing out there. Came back just to work in the office. He is just an office employee for AEW. Okay, sorry. I'm getting like, did you know this? Messages from Throne, and it's like, Throne, fucking relax. I know all of the integrations on Twitch that I could use. Relax. You don't have to tell me. Anyway, oh yeah, so he left. He came back just with an office job, just working in the office. Reportedly, very good at that job, working that gig. And part of that gig is that he has shown up to be like, oh yeah, also I'll wrestle now and again. And he's gone from just being an office employee to showing up and taking on fucking, making national news by wrestling the fucking Costco guy. And then he was on the Ring of Honor pay-per-view for no reason. And then he was in the pre-show. So hats off to him. Jeff Price says, hi, Pat. I've read Kenny Omega might return tonight and potentially get in a feud with Okada. So I have read that as well. The thing is that Kenny's first match back is next week in Japan. And I don't know. Maybe he will. But I don't really know if they're going to have Kenny show up and start a feud when he's literally wrestling next week in New Japan. He might just come back at New Japan and then maybe the next night at Wrestle Dynasty or whatever, set up a program, like his next program. But I don't know. Also, I would be bummed because I believe that Okada is going to retain the Continental Classic, and I don't want Kenny Omega wrestling for a mid-card belt. So I would say, I hope that that is not true. That what we both have read is not actually the plan, because I don't want Kenny's first feud to involve a mid-card title. Because I don't think that Ospreay is going to beat Okada tonight. I think this tournament is to signify that Okada is the king of wrestling tournaments. So he's going to retain his belt, and I just kind of don't want Kenny to be anywhere near a mid-card belt. I don't know. That's just me. Who knows? And if anything, Kenny should be feuding with the Bucks, who by a week from now will be able to be used, because per their contract, they AEW ran out of dates for them. So they can reset next year in a week. So who knows? The last of the pre-show matches that I did watch, because I only watched the pre-show, as I said, because I'm streaming tonight, was a 4-on-4 match. Lio Rush, Action Andretti, who are tag team, they're number one tag team contenders. They teamed with the Murder Machines, which is Lance Archer and Brian Cage, who are part of the Don Callis family. They defeated the Outrunners, Truth Magnum and Turbo Floyd, and Top Flight, Darius Martin and Dante Martin, via pinfall. Leo and Action used to be part of Top Flight as like a collective. But they have turned heelish, and they started cheating to win stuff, and they are just full-on heels now. And they are the number one contenders for Private Party's Tag Team Championships. Why is Private Party not on the show? Why wasn't that match part of tonight? I don't know. There were only, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there are only 8 matches on the card tonight. Now, some of them will probably go long, but especially the 4-way. But to me, it just feels very strange that that went down the way it did. Right now, looking at the results, my predictions, I am I'm 7 for 7 in predicting the winners of matches. I mean, it could turn out that Will Ospreay does win, does beat Okada, but I feel like it's going to be Okada. There's a chance I might be wrong in some of these. Like, I'll say this. I hope I'm wrong in the main event. I hope that Jon Moxley does not retain the title and that I'm wrong. I think I'm right, though, and I don't think Jon Moxley is going to retain the title. Or I think that Jon Moxley will retain the title. I don't think that anyone else will win that belt, because I think Jon Moxley is going to be the champion until All In. They are just going to have him be the Uber champ for like months and months and months. and like someone will come close to defeating him next year. Adam Copeland, who is not announced for Wednesday, but is definitely the surprise person that is showing up on Wednesday to be in the FTR and Mystery Friend versus any of the Death Riders. That's definitely going to be Adam Copeland, and it feels like Adam Copeland is the next opponent for Jon Moxley. That is my guess. That's my guess. That feels like that's what the plan is, unless it is rated FTR versus the Trios champions, and it's someone else is stepping up to take on Moxley, which could be the case. I don't know. Again, I mean, I'm saying I literally have no idea how that's going to work out. Ooh, I need the White Claws. Here we go. I'm definitely going to start the next kit. I'm glad I ran a poll for my Patreon. My $10 patrons voted on what I should build next, because I thought this was going to take the whole stream, and it does not feel like it will. We will have to do some rearranging of things, but yeah, this is pretty straightforward here as far as putting this stuff together. Not a lot of news this week in the gaming world, because news sites aren't paying for people to work and people aren't making a lot of announcements. There's a few things here and there that we can talk about here. Let's see. So this goes like that. Yeah. And then this goes like that. I believe that it's back, but the Xbox game streaming service was down for like 24 hours, which is rough. That as yeah, that was on the 26th, and it was through the 27th. On Thursday, there were long waits and disconnects with trying to play games versus the cloud streaming. That's an option for Game Pass Unlimited subscribers. And that is probably because of people getting Xboxes for the holidays and then using those Xboxes to like try to stream games or just other Game Pass things. It is probably a combination of a variety of things, but certainly not great. Let's see. They did not have a timetable. They were aware of it. Let's see. Let me go to Xbox support and see if they have updated since. If it's been restored here. Let's see. Users. Okay, so this was at the end of yesterday. Users should once again be able to launch cloud gaming titles and no longer see high wait times. So that they did wrap it up by like 19 hours ago. They tweeted out saying, "Hey, we think we figured this out." So again, this is kind of an old story now, but I'm grasping at straws for any kind of gaming that I can talk about here. All right, so that's bag 2. We have built the kind of cat version of this. Now we're going to finish it off. This is the villain. This is our villain character. I built him. He's the villain. He's the bad guy. Zoey is our good guy. This is the bad guy. I put him together, but I didn't build his cool hammer weapon. He's got a cool hammer weapon, so I got to build that right now. That goes there. That goes like this. Let's see. Yeah. Other news. Game Developer has been doing like top 10 lists and that kind of content, but they also were doing some other kind of like list-based stuff just at the end of the year. You know, again, there isn't news, so they're trying to fill some time with some stuff. But one that I found interesting was Game Developers 2024 wrap up the top 5 trends that define 2024. I figured we could take a look at that. Let's see. The first one they listed as execs save their own skin by putting developers to the sword. Microsoft laid off 25,000 game developers. I mean, we talked about this all year. The many layoffs. Take-Two did several rounds of layoffs and closing stuff, and never commented on it. Embracer laid off people and then also sold companies, which then led to layoffs. EA, Netflix shuttered their game developers. Lots of stuff like that, even though there was a lot of spending, but also just a lot of layoffs. Another one, AI, and especially, again, CEOs and heads of companies wanting to use AI to make all this shit work. Okay. So apparently, this bird is a summon, and this bird lives in this data, because this is a dream world. So I put this here, and then I put this cage there, and this, I guess this becomes this bird. I don't know. I'm not familiar with DREAMZzz, so I'm only telling you what I can infer. Now, we have two routes to go here. We can do the motorcycle, or we can do the, like, flying version. I'll show you here. I got two different things I can do. We're going to do both. We'll do the motorcycle, and then we'll disassemble it back to this stage, and then we'll do the other stage version, because why the fuck wouldn't I do that? Why wouldn't I do both of them? Do what I want. But yeah, generative AI bullshit. Lots of issues with video game preservation and various, companies not supporting initiatives, and that was a big deal this year. And also, like, Frank Cifaldi kind of leading the charge on the other side of, like, hey, game developers, it is unfortunately on you to, like, send, to preserve things. Don't leave it up for the fans to find things at yard sales and preserve them. Like, if you have things that you can put out there, like, or that you can dig up software and documents they can from their attics before they're lost for good, which is, like, I think a fine statement that Frank made. The foundation, so they said the foundation this year announced that by its accounting, almost every game released before the year 2010 isn't legally available anymore. ESA told the Library of Congress there was no possibility its members would support any form of remote access to delisted games. Library of Congress ongoing refusal to allow DMCA exemptions from video games that are analogous to those available for film and literature. That's the whole thing that they're trying to change. And the ESA was basically like, we like how you don't like that. Which is just a big, was and continues to be a big fucking bummer. All right, so this goes in here. This is basically we're gonna put a wheel on this. Gonna put a wheel on it, and then this goes on here. So basically, we're gonna do some work here, and then we will eventually have to take all that work apart so that we can do so that we can then do the other mode. Let's see. Cost of living was a trend. With cost of living rising and rising, it is getting more and more expensive to work in the games industry and live in the United States. Hey, Aristophan, welcome. Which is unfortunately a trend that was noticed this year. And another trend this year was as contributed by Holly Green, who is the community editor. Hello, Holly. Haven't heard that name in a while. one of the things is that a trend of some like female forward game, but both development and also main characters this year. That was a trend. Not just Princess Peach, but also, yeah, I mean, like, but also Zelda being a main character. That was kind of a big deal, even if it is a it's a Legend of Zelda game, but it is a side game and yada yada yada. It still is legitimately a pretty big deal for Zelda to be the main character in a story. That's still pretty fucking rad. And I think it's right to be. I think it's totally correct to be like, hey, that's fucking cool. All right, so now we do that, and then we put on 2 of these. So our back wheel is almost on. And that's kind of it for gaming news. Again, just not a lot. Saturday, it's a Saturday, so not only do we have the fact that it's the weekend and not a lot of sites update with news things, but also it's the holiday taint, because it taint Christmas and it taint New Year's. This is like not a lot happens this week. I'm looking over on Polygon to see if there are any news. Let's see. I'm not seeing anything. Deals. I just want news stories. Any news stories? No. Yeah, I am not finding any. So I want to go to news. Let's see. Yesterday, the free game on was Hot Wheels Unleashed, but it's not free anymore. Sorry. New season of Infinity Nikki is starting on Monday. Let's see. Okay, yeah, there's just not a lot of news. Let's check out the fine folks at IGN. See if we're getting any IGN news. News. Give me the news. Oh, I'm gonna. Okay. Oh, got it. Sorry, I have to turn off something here. There we go. None of this is anything that I'm interested in. Bummer. Okay, well, we can talk a little bit about, again, I'll talk a little bit here because there's some folks that weren't here when I was first talking about it. What my plans are for the rest of the year. The first thing to note is that my next stream will be this coming Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern. It'll be the last build stream of the year. Working on a model kit, I'm sure. That'll be fun. We're going to start that model kit tonight. And then Tuesday, I will be doing the Pat Bear's Anime Club live. It'll be my fall review and my spring preview. So that'll be coming out on that day. So please check that out. And of course, it will also be New Year's Eve on Tuesday. And so when I'm done talking about anime, which will be like 2 hours plus, it still won't be the new year. So we'll, of course, have to get into the new year. Our other decals, other decals, if you want to call them that. Got to put these things on here. So we'll get those applied. Oops, knocking this all over the place. Oh yeah, so for the rest of that night, again, I'm going to start by talking about anime for 2 hours and change, and then the plan is that after that, there's a little thing here. We'll do some tier maker lists because I have some tiers, and I don't know if I have enough for a full stream again. We'll probably do another full stream sometime next year, but I thought it would be fun to just do a a stream where I talk about or would, you know, tier maker until the ring in the new year, because I was like, oh, I could do Jackbox. Like, we have the Jackbox survey scramble, and there have been some adjustments to that, so maybe we could check that out, and that might be fun. Ooh, I missed a piece here. So I was like, oh, that might be fun. We could do that. But really, when it comes right down to it, I was like, I don't know how long that's going to take, and I don't want to like quit out of a game just because it's so close to midnight. In this case, it'll be like, oh no, I didn't finish a tier maker list because we had to go, you know, ring in the new year. Like, oh no, I'll have to fix that later or whatever. You know, like, I think that's totally fine. I got some good ones, so that's the plan for Tuesday. That'll be a good stream. And then obviously no stream on Wednesday, and then Thursday next week will be the first building stream of the year. I am currently running a poll. I'll share that right now. I'm currently running a poll as a Google form on what expensive model kit I should buy. So you should take a look at this. You can vote. Currently, let me see here. I need to find my need to find it here. Currently, 70% of responders have picked the Zaku Warrior live concert version master grade. 16.7% have said the Black Knight Squad Calria, and 13.3% have said the RX-783 G3. So that is 21 for the Zaku Warrior, 5 for the Black Knight Squad, and 4 for the RX-783 G3 version 2. So far, they have picked the most expensive kit, but also the kit that, in my opinion anyway, has the most style. This is the most stylish, coolest option. People so far are picking the one that, even though it is the most expensive, is the coolest of the three. And would be the one that I would certainly like building. I have built the Zaku Warrior on these very streams, but the high grade version, and certainly not the concert version, the live concert like background mobile suit version, which I have described on previous streams as being the queerest mobile suit in the Gundam franchise, because it is a pink concert going, like idol concert going mobile suit, and it's very queer, but really solid. It's a solid kit, so I am excited to work on that. If it wins, hey, look, the poll is open till next Thursday. It still has plenty of time. It's possible that other people could jump in there and vote for something else and really shift it in a different direction. Do I think that's likely? No, I don't think that's likely. But it's possible that people will be like, no, I really want you to buy that other Black Knight kit, which is cool, don't get me wrong. I mean, I have 2 of them still on display that I built this year that are absolutely rad. So I could see a world where I get into that, where that could win if enough people want it. But I think too many people want the good choice, and so it's going to be the good choice. That's my theory anyway. All right. One thing about this kit is, okay, all right, if I put the back legs down a little bit, it doesn't tip over. But if I put these up, this thing will fall right over. So you kind of just have to cheese it. Oh, it still wants to fall a little bit, but you can kind of cheese it to be all right. Like that. We're not done. There's some kind of spokes or something that can go on here, which makes sense of because there's more pieces, but again, there's 2 versions of this, so it does make sense that we're not done yet. But it looks like we gotta put some I don't know, some more parts on here. We'll get a little bit more building going here. Yeah, I think that's it. I've got a bunch of kits to build for next year, and I'm starting one of them tonight because disassembling this and then reassembling it probably won't take the full hour. So at least we'll look at the grays, which is the next kit that I'll be building. Is right over here. You can see the box for it. The gray standard type / commander type, and I'll have to pick which of the grunts I'm building. I have not made the decision yet if I am doing the standard or the commander. I'm probably going to do the commander. This is, as far as I know, with the exception of premium Bandai exclusives, which are out there, that is the last Iron-Blooded Orphans kit that I have not built. Again, there are some exclusives out there that I never saw, and certainly that could be they could be out there. But as far as I know, this is it. I'll put that there. It's like exhaust here on a motorcycle. I guess that's what we're building here. Yeah, I'm just going to pull one of these legs out to be like a brace there. I think that's kind of what I'm supposed to be doing. Like a kickstand almost. It's wild to think, because I thought I was done. I thought I had built every Iron-Blooded Orphans kit, because they made a lot of kits for 2 seasons of an anime, because it was a big hit. And a lot of the designs were really fucking rad. But so I never built the grays. I thought I did, but I guess I never got around to it. And again, there are some premium Bandai kits from that show that I also never got to, that I would like to. Oh, we're gonna have flames coming out of the exhaust. Ooh, I was wondering if those were only in the other version. This is pretty rad. I'm gonna tell you right now. It's pretty rad what we're doing right here. We got that, and I need 2 of these, and I need these. These look pretty cool. Put those on there, and then we put 1 on there, and 1 on there, and then I gotta put 4 of these on. It's like bracers. But yeah, it's always fun to discover, like, oh wait, there's a kit, there's a build, there's a mobile suit I didn't build. Because there is a new series coming out next year, so there will be new kits, but like, I built all the Witcher Mercury kits. There's the movie, the Gundam Seed Forever movie has like 6 kits, and I've built 2 of them, and I have another one from it. On my wish list. Do I have that in person? No, I just have it on my wish list. And I have 2 of the ones, and there's one other, the other ones. But there's only so many that came out for the movie, and I'm like, okay, well, I will build those eventually. Some of them are very expensive. That's why one of them's on my list to pick up. But I have built some of them. There's only so many because it's just a movie. So a new series means there will be new kits and I will purchase them. Gundam Metaverse. I have, that's what I actually have, a kit from Gundam Metaverse. I think there's only been like 4 kits from Metaverse because it wasn't much of a series. And I've built one of them already, and I have another one in my backlog now. And I'm keeping an eye on the other ones that are out there. And one of them is a Strike Gundam, and I've built so many variants of the Strike, and I really don't like the Strike, so I might not ever pick that one up, or I'm not in a hurry to pick that up. Maybe I will someday. Okay, so this is the motorcycle variant, and then there's also the like hover flying variant that's right there. And we could do either one. I built the motorcycle first. We're going to do both. So I'm going to take a photo of this because it's completed, and we got to put Zoey on there on the bike. So he just stands on the bike in both versions, but I'll show you the bike here. I do like that this is, because this is like a fantasy world with technology, this is still a cat. It's still a cat person that is also a motorcycle. So it still has like paws, even though it also has bike parts, and a tail and a head that moves around quite a bit. And that's fun. And then, fun effects on this. A good little kit. Thanks to Aristofan for picking this up. This was the third thing that Aristofan purchased for Christmas, which is very kind of Aristofan. Picked up an SD kit, which we completed, that had 1,000 stickers, and then also the Pokedex, which is rad. And I don't have the Pokedex in front of me, but I do have the lenticular Pokemon there, because those cards are fucking rad. I did enjoy them. I enjoyed them quite a bit, Aristophan. And this is the third build, which we're done with half of. We did the motorcycle, and then we have to do the other version. But I need to take a photo, and then I guess I'll do a photo with our villain character here. Oops, and the bird, and then this thing. This guy, I don't know if he's going to stand up, if this villain is going to stand. Oh, there he goes. If I pull it up high, he will. All right. When we take this, I gotta drive this real close. This motorcycle is fucking huge. Just look at the, like, I know it's a fictitious, like in a dream world thing, but like it's ginormous. This cat is big, is what I'm saying. Zoey's motorcycle, cat motorcycle, is large and in charge. All right, let me get a photo of this thing here. Put it on an angle. Gotta go high to take this photo. Great. And then after the pause for the cause, we will do the other version of this, because I'll just right now take it apart here. Because there is the flight mode. So we gotta do the flight mode, which basically means that we are just going to I'll have to like take all this all properly apart, but right now I can just take these off, take this off. Luckily, there's not much difference between the two, so I can pretty easily remove these parts here. And they also, like, I think they kind of want you to be able to swap between the two. Maybe they don't, but the fact that you can't just easily, swap between the two is fine. I'm fine with that. But I'll do that, and then we'll get the grays started. And I have to eventually make the decision on. I think the chest is the same for both. It's the head is the first piece that is different of the two. I don't know. I'm gonna have to use Google Translate, because not a lot of it is written in English, because it's from an era where they didn't write a lot of it in English. A lot of the instruction manuals for Bandai stuff in like 2015, that was like the tail end. They were just starting to really write in English for a lot of stuff, but they didn't do it all the time, which is understandable. It's frustrating sometimes, but it's understandable. And also, Google Translate does a fine enough job of literal translations of a couple words. It doesn't. I'm not doing sentences. I'm not trying to do dialogue. I'm just looking at a few words here and there. All right, yeah. So we'll have to do some modifications of some things and things, get all this changed up, so we can do the flight mode. But that's future patch problems. Luckily, a lot of instructions use katakana of English words too. Yes, John, that does make things easier for Google Translate to just be like, it says this, and you're like, okay, cool, great, thank you. But before we get into all that, the thing that is most important, most important, is that we need to do a pause for the cause. This is my opportunity to talk to you. That's right, you, the viewer, about ways that you can support what I do here. Everything I'm about to talk to you is optional. You're under no obligation to do any of these things. But if you would like to, you're more than welcome to, right? It's my pause for the cause. It is just me doing my ad reads. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear workshop, you can throw the Barricade, the Lego, the site, the tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through cash money or your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime linked with your Twitch, you get a token. You can use that token for anybody. If you want to use it for me, you could. But you make sure you're using it, right? If you're already paying for Prime, you might as well use that token. Because you're already paying for that token to exist, basically. Now, you could also gift a sub. And there is a promotion happening right now. Or you can become a new member. There's a promotion happening right now called Bonus Round, brought to you by Valorant. Until January 2nd, 25% off new 1-month subs. 25% off new 3-month subs, 30% off new 6-month subs. For every 5 gifted subs purchased for a channel, my channel, Valorant will add at least 1 bonus gift sub. Aristofan gifted 5 gift subs on Thursday, and Valorant chipped in 2, which was very nice. I believe, that we are at we're at like 17 gifted subs this month, which is pretty rad. It's pretty great. So yeah, if you wanted to gift a sub, you could. You don't have to. Just do it if you want to, but don't feel like you need to. But that is another way. And then bits and coins always appreciated. The bits add up, and it's just another way to support me if you want to do that. There are other ways that don't involve going through Twitch, because you're already here, so it's kind of the easiest. And a reminder, I don't say this every stream. I should say it every stream. If you're going to subscribe to anybody, myself included, make sure you're at a website. Don't do it through the app, or at least go into browser, go into Safari on your phone or whatever, or Chrome or Firefox. Don't do it through the Twitch app, because then you have to pay the tax. You don't want to have to pay the tax, and it's a monthly tax. You don't want to have to pay the extra. So let's see. There are other ways to support me financially, like my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBaer. Over on my Patreon, there's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for the different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. I just yesterday put up my end of the month Q&A video. I do a Q&A video every month, and put that up there. I had 2 really good questions. It's the only exclusive content I do at all, and I think both questions were really solid, and both about model kits, so it was nice to talk about those. One had me doing a little research, the other one had me reminiscing, so it was good. So consider joining me on Patreon. For even just $1, you would get that video. You could watch that video. It would be nice. Let's see, are there other things that I can promote? Yes, because of course, hey, I got a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBaer. Over on my YouTube channel, if you wanted to be a subscriber, you could do that for free, of course, because it's just YouTube. But if you wanted to become a member over there for $2 a month, you would get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So you would get Kuma Baer a day early, and you would know before other people what my favorite show of the fall season was. Like, one of my 5 favorite shows of the fall season will all be January. So technically, if you are a member over on YouTube, you will get my first video of 2025 when it's still 2024, because it'll come out on that Tuesday. That's wild. That's a wild thing. It's not that wild, but it's a little wild. It's a little wild. Gotta give me that. Those are all monthly ways to support me. If you want to just throw in for my tip jar, I've got a Ko-Fi, I've got a PayPal. If you want to make a direct donation, and everything I make through those direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And out of that fund, I buy model kits and Lego sets to build. I've got a backlog full of some stuff. The next kit that I'm going to be working on is from my backlog. It is a recent addition to my backlog. So I've got a wide variety of things that I'm working on. Now, the thing that I'm currently finishing up, Zoey's cat motorcycle. That came off my Amazon wish list, as I mentioned. The fantastic Aristofan purchased that along with a few other things. If you also would like to jump the queue, if you would like to decide what I build next and not have it be for my backlog, you can go to my Amazon wish list. Over my Amazon wish list, you can find a variety of things and things. Some inexpensive, some incredibly expensive. If you see something there you'd like to see me build, you can purchase it. It'll come to me in the mail. And I will make a dedicated YouTube video about the thing you purchased, and then it will jump the queue and be the next thing that I build. I've got Lego sets and model kits. A recent addition to the list was a Magic the Gathering 500-piece jigsaw puzzle that I bet I will have a fun time doing and also hate, because eventually it'll just be like, these are all, like, I'll finish the outside and then try to juice in the middle and be like very lost. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll fucking love it. That's on the list, just to mix things up. And because I only done one jigsaw puzzle on stream and I quit doing it. I quit during it. So I think it's time for me to get in there. Variety of stuff, inexpensive stuff, expensive stuff. Lego knockoffs were always kind of fun to do this year. I also have a nano block knockoff, which I'd never seen before. That looks kind of fun. That's like an arcade cabinet that's out of not nano blocks. If you want to see me build something where I'm constantly swearing under my breath because nano blocks fucking are sharp. They're not sharp, but they're pointy. You know what I mean? They're a little rough to build. You could pick that up. If you want to buy something and you don't want it to be on Amazon, which I fucking totally understand, you can go to my Throne wish list. None of the stuff on my Throne wish list goes through Amazon, so you can see that. And then also, of course, you could always go to the most convoluted way to support me financially, USA Gundam Store. At USA Gundam Store, you get a gift card code there. You can buy a gift card. They will send you a code for that gift card in your email. Then you can send me a whisper on Twitch or a private message on Twitter or Blue Sky or Mastodon with that gift card code. And then I will use that gift card code to purchase something from USA Gundam Store. And you could even be like, hey, I think you should buy this kit from USA Gundam Store. And then maybe, just maybe, I fucking will. I probably will. Or I'll say, actually, I've already built that. I built that 5 years ago. Is there anything else you want to see me build? You could do something like that. Let's see. Is there anything else that I need to mention to you? If you want to support me but you don't want to spend any money, I have a Discord and I would love to see you on that Discord. Jump into the Discord. It's full of great folks. A couple of video links for you to check out. Pat Baer's Anime Club is my ongoing video series. The video I put up this week is my top 10 list for 2024. I do not have a written list anywhere, but I do have a video list. So if you want to find out what my 10 favorite anime for 2024 were and my honorable mention, I believe those episodes came out today, or they're coming out. Whisper Me a Love Song episodes 11 and 12 are coming out here. So I think they did come out. I'm going to have to track that down to see if they ended up getting shown up with subtitles. But it looks like, yes, it does look like episodes 11 and 12 have arrived. And so I will probably talk about those two episodes on Monday. But again, episodes 11 and 12 didn't come out in time for me to properly include them in the rankings so they can show up next time. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. And all throughout the month of December, I was talking about my favorite anime from the 90s, which includes Sailor Moon. That's right. I made a video where I gushed for a minute about Sailor Moon and how important it is, not just to me, but to a lot of people. And how it fucking rules. It is the magical girl show. And you should check it out. And I will stop talking like this. Okay. So, I have a manga to chat with you about. And then I have an anime episode to talk to you about because we are taking a break from Dragon Ball Daima. But I will be talking about episode 12 of Dragon Ball Daima in a bit here because it's a fucking kind of goddamn important episode of Dragon Ball Daima, really. But before I talk about manga and then anime, I need to drink some more water. We have to dramatically transition to the overhead camera, and then I need to build the alt version of this kit. Or this set anyway, and we'll do that right now. All right. So while I am, because I kind of took the parts of this apart here. I took the parts apart. Great, Pat. Good job, Pat. As we work on this other version here, the other part of the build, I am going to talk to you about a manga that I have been reading and enjoying called The Support Mage Yearns for Party Banishment. The world is in a banishment boom, but the party members who think too highly of me never want to let me go. Which, you could just leave now with that. Like, you could just be like, Pat, I gotta go, and you would understand the premise of this particular manga. So as you are aware, Banished is a subgenre of not just isekai, but also just action adventure manga. The basic idea is a character is either they don't understand how strong they are, they themselves, the people around them don't understand, and they're taking them for granted, or there's some kind of scheming happening, and like people are keeping the truth hidden, and so they get kicked out. And sometimes, in rare cases also, sometimes they just are really overpowered, but it took the banishment for everybody to kind of fucking figure it out. Anyway, enough of this subgenre has existed for long enough that we're now at the point where we're playing with the formula. There is a manga that is not this one where it's from the point of view of the team that banished a guy. They like totally banished him, and now they're kind of rebuilding, and it was still a good call in the long run, but they're trying to like figure out where to go from there. And it's the other side of it, like what happens after that. There is a manga out right now where the main guy gets banished, not because he's super strong, but because they're like, he's gonna die. Like, he is definitely gonna die if he sticks with us. And then they accidentally almost get him killed by trying to be supportive, and he's like an edgelord. That one is honestly a pretty typical banishment one, but like a little bit of a difference there. But so this one is, our main character is a support mage, and he's like, my team rules. My team is so great, they're going to kick me out. And he is prepared. He has not quit yet, but he is constantly prepared, and he's ready to quit if he needs to. He is constantly ready to just take the fall and be the guy that and step aside for them, right? He totally does not believe his own worth. And his party is furious at the idea that he's going to try to quit and back out of it, because they don't want him to leave. On the one part of it is, he's very good at support magic, and there's no reason why they would want him to leave. And the other side of it is, which he doesn't understand, he might come around to the idea that he is a good support mage. But the real thing is that this is a harem manga. The characters in this manga all love him. It is a party like of all girls, and except for there is one boy, but that's not a boy. They apparently at some point decided that he mistook one of the girls in the group for a guy, and they didn't correct him because they thought that he would like be more comfortable if he had like one male friend in the group, basically. So this is different from the like, oh, he left the party where they were all assholes to him, and he found a new party that just happened to be all beautiful, cool women that all think he's rad. No, the entire time he has been a party full of cool women that think he's rad. Basically, it is playing with the formula by just doing the formula, but doing the formula as a character who is like he is already in the better party that's right down the road. It's because it's been the better party the whole time. He just can't really accept it and appreciate it. And it's kind of funny. Is it like an incredibly good satirical look at these types of stories? Not really. It's just like one of those like fun ones, like the idea that even if he doesn't believe in himself, they really fucking believe in him. And we do get him being kind of a badass when necessary. There are plenty of scenes of him being pretty fucking rad when called upon to be rad. Like, there are cool scenes for him. Sorry, I'm just gonna make sure I'm doing this correctly. There are times for him to be cool, supportive, and I should also say that our main guy, what's his fucking name? I wrote it down in my notes because I try to write down notes. Monog. The thing with Monog is he's not as overpowered as like a lot of main characters in these kinds of stories. Like, there are a lot of stories where the main character is just like so ridiculously overpowered, it's like unbelievable, and just like how did anyone let this fucking guy go? He's just a very good support mage. Like, he's just very good at his job. I also do love the idea of there's a trend of getting rid of the dead weight. That ends up in a lot of manga that I've read in the Banishment subgenre of just being like, well, once you reach a certain point, you can't keep around the people that you've been supporting just because you're childhood friends. You need to get oh, we don't need a support mage anymore. We need more offense. Or what does even a dark mage do? They're not popular, so we'll get rid of you and we'll bring in an elemental mage or whatever. And then the people that did the banishing are like, we fucked up. Shit, we really fucked up. There's no getting out of this. We really beefed it on this one. And I think that is a fun enough premise for a manga. So my final thoughts on the support mage yearns for party banishment. The world is in a banishment boom, but the party members who think too highly of me never want to let me go is a pretty cute one of those. It is a fun premise, and it is done well. And you could do a whole lot fucking worse if you're reading some manga out there than that one. So yeah, at the end of the day, I think it's pretty good. Also pretty good, the alt build of this motorcycle. The alt build of this motorcycle is pretty great. The flight mode is kind of neat. I think I would much rather keep it as a motorcycle, and I'm going to convert it back to a motorcycle. I do like that as these spin, this thing spins. That's fun. As the wheel goes, they don't spin great, but okay, that was up too high. There you go. Now it spins. That's pretty good. I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'll probably take this apart and convert it back to the other version. But I will take a photo of this here, and we got our villain, and our villain is and our bird here trying to take down an even tall, because now he's not motorcycle version, it's even taller. Oh, I can also show it like this so you can see. Yeah. Final thoughts. Pretty fucking neat. Pretty goddamn neat build. Happy to work on it. Let me get my my camera out here and take another photo for posterity. Or posterity, not prosperity. Posterity. And then we need our guy here, face off. Make this like that, yeah. All right. We got our two modes here. So that, yeah, I think that looks pretty neat. And then one thing I will just show, very silly. So I nolled all this during the day. I always get things, I don't always, but I often get things ready during the day. So I was just kind of like putting things in different places and putting stuff where it needs to be. And then I just kind of did this just for fun. And I was like, oh, that's fun. And I just did this for like 45 minutes today. Just seeing how long it would go. And it goes a pretty long time because this is fairly flat here. But yeah. This was just part of my day, was just spinning a top. Spins real nice as a wristband. Yeah, it spins real nice. I am 44 years old, but sometimes a spinning top is all it takes to keep me going. Setting up his own Beyblade. Yes, I'm just prepping for my Beyblade competitions. We'll eventually I'll have to let it rip. As the saying goes. Oh, Lashbrook says beat me to a Beyblade joke. Yes. But I was doing this for like a while today. I don't want to, maybe not 45 minutes, but for a good while I was just spinning the Beyblade, as it were. We got some time left in the stream. I'm going to talk about the 12th and final, for now, episode 13 coming out soon, episode of Dragon Ball Daima. And while I do that, I will we'll begin working on a model kit. We'll get on there. We'll get into it. Let me just fix that, and then I gotta put the grays has to go here. Cat motorcycle can go away. I don't need you anymore. It's the Greys. This should be a pretty simple build here. The Iron-Blooded Orphans Greys standard type / commander type. I still have not decided, because again, I have until this step 2. That's when I decide if I'm going to build that head or that head, which will then make me decide if this is a... We'll look through this. Is this... that might be the only difference, is the head. But you don't build both of them, so you choose one or the other. One has 2 parts there, one has 1 part there. That literally might be the only difference, is the head. I imagine there are people out there that bought multiples of these, and they, so that way they had the commander, and then they had a bunch of the standards. It's got an axe, which I like. It's got the cool backpack. I appreciate the backpack there. Oh yeah, and there's 2 different ways to put the backpack. That's also a difference. The way you put it together makes that depend on that. And then, yeah, this is this kit. Hello, welcome. I feel like I'm gonna finish this kit probably, like, definitely on Monday's stream, I think. Well, maybe it won't be on Monday. Maybe I won't finish it fully. If I had more time, I'd get a Jagan squad built. Yeah, building a squad is I know people that have several Leos. They do a whole Leo unit. MG Jesta or MG Duel, who looks awesome. I mean, I like the Jesta a lot. Jesta is a strange master grade that I really enjoy, so I guess I'm going Jesta. Yeah, that's a fun one. I guess so. If I had to choose one or the other, I would say I guess I'd go with Jesta. But yeah, we are going to start on the Greys, and I think we're probably going to... I don't know which head we'll do. I don't know which of these heads we're going to work on until we get there, because we still have to do the main body. Greys HG, we'll just put that there. We still got to do the main body, so we'll get that together, and from there we'll make the decision. Again, this is my as far as I can tell from my own research, which again I thought I'd already said this before, and I was wrong. This is the only kit that came out for regular purchase that is an Iron-Blooded Orphan kit that I have not built yet. There are premium Bandai versions that I have not purchased. I've purchased some from Iron-Blooded Orphans, but not all of them. And so I do think that this is the only one that I have not done, which is kind of fucking wild. But again, I also thought that previously. So turns out I was wrong. So yeah, we'll start with the body here, and then we'll move on to the head, and I will make the decision of which head I'm going to put on there. I'm probably going to do well, we actually, while I'm here, let me see the official names, because I don't really remember. Let's go and look at the Google Translate and the camera, and then tell me a thing. That says head. That says machine. And that says commander plane. Okay, so this is a standard and this is the commander. We'll look at them, but I think I might want to do commander. Looking at now, looking at the parts that go on there, I might want to do commander. That might be the better way to go. Really, it's just a slight difference in the head piece, so we'll figure it out when we get there. The commander has a slightly different head, so we'll probably just do that, because it's not, honestly, I put way too much thought into that right there. We're probably just going to go with the one that has like an extra 2 pieces, and 2 pieces in the head instead of 1. We'll probably just do that. But I do want to talk about episode 12 of Dragon Ball Daima, because a bunch of fucking shit happened here. we started with, you may remember from episode 11, that a Kraken showed up and ate Vegeta. Just swallowed Vegeta whole. But it didn't, actually. Vegeta was just hanging on to one of the tentacles. And just, everything is okay. Vegeta is all right, everybody. Nobody freak out. So he gets freed. Yes, classic Sarlacc pit. He's still fighting the Tamagami number 2. We have one Tamagami fighting them, and then the new not Majin Buu is also fighting another Tamagami. They're trying to get the Demon Dragon Balls. The Demon Realm Dragon Balls. So they're fighting. The Kraken does this time try to eat Vegeta, but Vegeta powers up, and the Kraken fights off the Kraken, and the Kraken is just like, oh, I'm gonna leave. The Kraken just fucking takes off because it's like, oh wait, you're really strong. I'm out of here. That's my guess. We cut away to Majin Buu. Majin Buu is better than the other fake Majin Buu, but not much better. That is fighting with Tamagami number 1. Majin Buu wants chocolate, so Majin Ku, the previous kind of failure, goes off to buy chocolate because that is a thing with the Majins. All the Majins, the artificial Majins, they all really like chocolate. And who can blame them for loving chocolate? I get it. Never realized that that Tamagami 2 is struggling to fight against Vegeta. And so Neva decides, I'm going to fuck with this, and powers up the Tamagami. Do is fucking just trying to avoid one and having a bad time with it. Goma, who is... We have the big bad, and then we have the other big bad, and Goma is the dumb big bad, and Goma doesn't understand what Do is, and does not know what's going on, but is paying attention to these fights. Ku shows up with the chocolate for Do, and then Do starts actually kind of winning against his opponent. And that's when Goma realizes that Arinsu, who is supposed to be on his side, is trying to collect these demon balls. And they're wondering why that's happening. The Tamagami 1 mixes things up and is like, actually right now, hey, guess what? You've got to complete a math challenge. Or mental arithmetic, yeah. Do has to add up all the numbers in this yellow sphere, and Ku apparently can figure it out. And I'm going to say this right now. Supposedly whispers it, really loudly whispers the answer, which seems like completely and utterly cheating. And also, I guess that's fine. I guess cheating is okay if you do it loudly enough. But whatever. But there is cheating. But it seems to be all right. I'm sorry, I've got a piece here that I am confused about how it goes together. I think it goes like this. Okay. All right, I think this is right. I'll know as I go if I'm putting this on incorrectly. This doesn't feel right at all. All right, maybe it goes like this. This doesn't feel right either. You know how that goes sometimes when you're just like, none of the ways that I am assembling this feel correct. These instructions leave a little bit to be desired. Yeah, that doesn't feel great. Oh, I'm doing it wrong. The reason why it didn't feel right is because I wasn't doing it right. There we go. That's how it's supposed to go, and that looks perfect. Great. I was misunderstanding what they wanted from me. All right, so it goes there. Then I need... Oh, there's some instructions there. Oh, and we got our first sticker. Got our first sticker, everybody. Let me do a little translation here. Be careful when cutting. Okay. I will. I'll be very careful. So he answers the question, which means that Do gets a Dragon Ball. And then so that means that Aransu has a Dragon Ball. And they leave. And Goma get Degusa, who is helping out Goma, who is the leader, is like, I'm sure that they're just collecting the Dragon Balls so that these invaders can't get them. So in case, and that means, Goku and the crew. I don't like that they cheated to get the ball, but they did cheat to get the ball. Let's see. But Goma is just like, I bet she's this is some scheming. She's doing some scheming to get these balls, which she is. That's accurate. That is totally true. That is totally what's happening right now. She is doing a little maneuvering. Vegeta is still fighting against Tamagami 2. And then it fucking happens, everyone. The thing that people have been fucking waiting for since Dragon Ball Z. People have been goddamn clamoring for this and wondering and what-ifing. I do like you to solve some sort of mental challenge as well. Yes, Lashbrook, I do enjoy that. That is fun. So a thing happens with Vegeta here that we have been waiting for a very long time, and I think it's worth the wait. Vegeta, who is having trouble, and finally reaches the next stage of Super Saiyan 3. Now, if you remember, Super Saiyan 3 is weird Goku Super Saiyan 3 was weird forehead, kind of forehead bumps. Not Super Saiyan 4 from GT, the Super Saiyan 3. That wasn't from GT, that was from Dragon Ball Z. That was the end of Dragon Ball Z, right? That can't be right. It can't be just in GT. I mean, 4 is in GT. 3 was Z. Yes, John. We're talking about 3, which reminder, GT is not canon. 3 was Buu Saga. Yes. GT is not canon in this. In this thing, GT didn't happen. GT is not canon in Dragon Ball. Theoretically, the events of GT could happen in the Super timeline, but Super retcons Dragon Ball Z somewhat. So this is just its own thing. Vegeta goes Super Saiyan 3. It is not the long, spiky hair that goes all down his back, like you saw in Goku. In this one, it's just, in Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 1, your hair gets spiky and goes up. And Vegeta's hair just goes up more. I don't know if I love it. I know that part of the reason why I don't think I love it is because Vegeta is in kid form. You got to remember, Vegeta is in child form. And I think I'll like it more if I see him as an adult with it. But I do like that Vegeta and Goku Super Saiyan 3, and also Gotenks go Super Saiyan 3, but Gotenks is a fusion and so weird that I don't fucking know. But Gotenks is a bit more similar to Goku, and I think that's because Goten was kind of like more in charge of the body than Trunks at that point. I don't know. That's weird. But also, Trunks is a half Saiyan, so it's a half Saiyan and another half Saiyan fusing, so it's complicated. Anyway, Vegeta goes Super Saiyan 3 in kid form, and I popped. I'll tell you that in the to use a wrestling parlance right there. I was super fucking psyched about that shit. I was just like, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Lashbrookers wish he wasn't spoiled on this. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. So yeah. Bulma is just like, oh yeah, Vegeta's been training to try to do this. Vegeta just spills it back. He's like, yeah, my husband's like been super focused on going Super Saiyan 3 and making this happen. D248 is this piece. Great. That's not right. That doesn't look right. T248. Oh, it is. Okay. It's just upside down. Great. Excellent. That didn't look right, but it is. It's correct. So yeah, Vegeta is like a fucking ass, like he is an asshole. He is still an asshole, and he's still acting like an asshole. He whips ass. He whips ass with 2, and it's very fun. But to get the Dragon Ball, Vegeta has to solve a math problem. And Vegeta does, because Vegeta is smart. Vegeta is only stupid in Super when confronted with a cartoon, like an embodiment of a cartoon character, and he is occasionally dumb about social cues. That's pretty much it. For the most part, Vegeta is just pretty fucking smart. I mean, look, being a prince does not automatically make you smart, but being a Saiyan prince, he had to be ruthless, and also, he probably had to have some basic, knowledge of the world. Here, I'll say this. Vegeta certainly wouldn't want to be dumber than anyone else, right? He would want to know a bunch of stuff. I'll be honest, this would have gotten me because I assumed it was a word problem and I have to track how many apples they have left at the end. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It is to me, the fact that there is a quiz element attached to these is just funny. I enjoy it. I enjoyed that. That is a silly element that I do like. So Vegeta gets it right, gets the Dragon Ball. They now have 2 Dragon Balls. They don't know that another party has 1 Dragon Ball. They go on Hybus's plane, and the reoccurring problem in Dragon Ball Daima, the thing that I've already been fucking sick of. You guessed it, engine problems. All but one of these people can fucking fly, and they keep getting into planes that are fucked up and fuck up, and I hate it. So then Pansy has to waste a bunch of time fixing the engine, and then they can go. So it wasn't even a cliffhanger. It was just a plot beat. It's not every episode, but it's so many fucking episodes are just like, well, we gotta fix the plane, or we need a new plane. And it's like, Jesus fucking Christ. And that's the end of the episode. Degesu and Goma know that they know at least about one of the Dragon. I don't know if they know they have 2 Dragon Balls, but they know they have 1 Dragon Ball, and they also know where they're going. And Goma says that Goma has a plan. And we'll see how that plan goes in 2 weeks for our next episode of Dragon Ball Daima. Episode 13 of Dragon Ball Daima. We didn't know if this show was going to take a hiatus, be off for a season, be a continuous, and just do literally 52 episodes in a row or whatever. We did not know how this is going to work. Or maybe some people did. I didn't know. But yeah, 2 weeks off, and then episode 13 will be back. Enough time for some other shows to debut. And not have this steal their thunder. Overall, I'm fairly sure I'm going to keep watching Dragon Ball Daima because they gave me Vegeta, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. Like, as much as I bitch about it and gripe about it, and believe me, there will be more bitching and griping, and it's not on my top 10 list. And it is one of my 5 favorite shows from the fall season, but that's because there are 5 Wednesdays in January. I needed 5 anime. It barely made the cut of the 5 shows that I'm talking about because so much of the show is, oh, fuck, we're having engine problems or someone stole our plane, and it's just fucking fly. Goku can teleport. He's got teleportation. Fucking cheat. It's just cheap. It just feels a little too fucking lazy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. It just feels kind of goddamn lazy that we keep dealing with this stuff, and it keeps coming up. And then again, it's solved fairly easily. It's just like eating away time on the show. But overall, I do like it because it's fun. It's a fun Dragon Ball. Sometimes it has Dragon Ball vibes, like when young looking Goku just starts beating people up with simple martial arts and laughs while he does it. It does remind me of the original Dragon Ball, and that's fun. That's nice. Nostalgia hits me, but especially because I watched the first 13 episodes of Dragon Ball. I watched dubbed. And then, because there weren't any more, I watched fan subs of the rest of Dragon Ball over the years. So for me, most of my Dragon Ball time was subbed. And then for Dragon Ball Z, I did watch a lot of it dubbed, and then I watched a lot of it subbed, and then I watched it dubbed when the dub was coming out later and watched it back because I like it. So for me, like, Dragon Ball Z is both, but Dragon Ball is primarily, for me anyway, a show that I watched subtitled. So the vibes of this one just kind of hit me. It just hits me right in nostalgia. Like, so much of this show just really, really hits me hard. How did this go? Sorry. Oh, it goes like that. Okay. Wait. Sorry, this thing kind of comes together in a weird way that I'm confused about. Oh, okay. This I'm trying to put. I was like, why doesn't this arm want to fit in where it's supposed to fit in? And that's because I was putting it on the wrong side. This was going on the wrong side. So now I need to correct. I'm going to correct my mistake. This looks like this, and then this goes like that, and then this goes on this side of it. As always, folks, I already said this once on this stream. When I'm building sometimes and I'm like, this doesn't seem to want to work the way it should be working, and it feels like I'm fighting it, it's because I'm doing it wrong. Not because, like, oh, the instructions are bad. I just sometimes don't do a thing the way I'm supposed to be doing it. Doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen where I just completely misunderstand an instruction and do it wrong. It's often user error, not instruction error. Now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? What's going on with you? I love hearing from you about that kind of stuff. We do have a little time left in the stream. So I do want to hear, what you got up to, what you doing here. As far as video games go, hey, Marvel Rivals, still really fucking good. Marvel Rivals is still like a great video game that I enjoy playing with friends. Turns out I like Marvel Rivals a whole lot, and I am really enjoying my time with it. Ooh, only 2 more stickers left. Fuck yeah. This kit does not have a lot of stickers, and that makes me a happy Pat. So I'm playing a lot of that. Hearthstone every day. I played a little bit of Helldivers 2 yesterday with some friends. The same group. We got a little bit of Helldivers 2 in just because we were a little nostalgic, and we played Helldivers 2 where we were waiting for someone to finish up work so that we could then play Marvel Rivals with them and get a full crew together. So we kind of just killed some time playing that, but it was good time killed. It was fun to get together and do that stuff because I really like playing both those games. And again, Hearthstone, always playing Hearthstone. Loving that Hearthstone. So that was fun. let's see. Is there anything else that I wanted to talk about that I'm doing? Oh, yeah. Again, tomorrow running some Fiasco with friends. I'm going to watch the pay-per-view that I missed tonight so that I could stream instead. And then I will be watching a show that is starting late tonight in Japan. Wrestle Princess, or not Wrestle Princess, at the end of the year party. But Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling has a show tonight, and so I'll be watching that tomorrow night with some friends. Or usually Sunday night is usually Joshi night, and that is always a pleasure for me to watch wrestling with friends, and very enjoyable. And that one will have English commentary, which is always a treat. And sounds like it's going to be a good show. So I look forward to watching that tomorrow night with friends. I also need to watch, there was one match on yesterday's DDT show that did feature some Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling ladies involved in it, and also the non-wrestler heads of both companies apparently got involved, and that is very silly. So I do want to check that out tomorrow. As well. I think we're going to watch, my crew is going to watch that before we watch the TJPW show. So we'll just do that, and that'll be real good. All right, so then this goes like this, and then this goes like that. Hell yeah, I did that correctly. John says, been playing Disgaea 6 and watching Dan. Hell yeah, we talked about on Thursday, we talked about that, the cliffhanger episode of Dan. Or wait, was it last Saturday? Last Saturday we talked about that, the cliffhanger episode of Dan. My thoughts on Dan, it's real good. I do wish that it didn't have bookended content warning scenes, but I look forward to the next season when that comes out. Aristophan says, I started playing Dragon Quest III Remake, and that's a cozy time. Hell yeah. I hope you're having a real good time with your Dragon Quest. Your Dragon Quest remake. That was silly. Okay. So how does this go on? These go on. One goes in here. And one goes in there. Yeah. I did that right. Hell yeah. I believe. Laura Crashton says, I've been playing more Euro Truck Simulator 2. Hell yeah. And there are 2 events going on for exploring the recent Greece DLC, and a holiday event for delivering packages to the North Pole. That you teleport to for some fun snowy area to drive around in. That's Lord Crashington. That's holiday content I can fucking get behind. That's cute and fun. I love that. I love the idea of some snowy Wonderland stuff. That's great. Also, rewatched Squid Game Season 1 before watching 2, which is fantastic. I have never seen a moment of Squid Game. Maybe I will watch the original Squid Game at some point, but I just have not. I do have Netflix right now because of anime. I don't know what I'm going to watch on Netflix next week, but I will be watching more anime on it, I'm sure. But yeah, I have it right now. Lastbrick says, I beat Harmony of Dissonance. I enjoyed it more by the end, but there are still a bunch of weird decisions. Glad to be moving on to Aria of Sorrow soon. Aria of Sorrow I remember enjoying a lot. I also watched all of Skeleton Crew so far, and it's fun, but not blowing me away. Nick Frost is really good in it. I have heard that Nick Frost is really good in it, yes. I still have not seen that show, but I have heard good things about it, specifically about Nick Frost's performance. Squid Game Season 1 was good. We'll probably start up Season 2 in the new year, says John. Hell yeah. Enjoy it. Yeah, I just never got around to watching it. It came out when I didn't have Netflix, and then when I got Netflix again, I just didn't end up watching it. I do have to decide if I'm going to keep it. It was nice having Netflix right now because my dad wanted to watch one of the 2 football games that were Netflix only that was on Christmas Day. So he was able to watch those. it's wild. He has the NFL Network, and still, it's only because of me being here in this house that he's able to watch some football games, including the Netflix ones, which is kind of fucking wild to think about. But yeah, accurate. That there's stuff he only gets to watch because I'm here. All right, we got some progress done on the Grays high grade. We are going to complete the Grays high grade not maybe complete on Monday, but we'll do a lot of it on Monday and then probably finish it off in the new year. This is going to complete tonight's stream. We're going to wrap up here. My next stream, of course, will be on Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern, where I will continue to work on this model kit. I hope you can join me there for that, because it would be nice if you could. But right now, what's going to happen is I am going to, we're going to raid. That is how we end every stream around here. We're going to find someone doing cool stuff and hang out with them on a Saturday evening. Loading Ready Run has been doing a show, but I bet that's wrapping up because usually it's about 2 hours, so I don't want to do that. My apologies. On Thursday, we raided Arthur Geese, and he fucking finished almost immediately. I was like, oh, haha, he finished the game, but he only wanted to finish that game, and then he signed off, and so we raided for 5 minutes. Dan is playing Doshin the Giant, and he's only been streaming for an hour, so I bet he will be continuing this, because he always streams for many hours. So we're going to go hang out with Dan Reichert. As him just says, we always end with a raid. We haven't raided Dan in a long time, so this should be fun. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Please come back on Monday as I continue working on this model kit, and we'll close out the year, the model kit building year, right. Thank you all so much for being here. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.